If you're looking to get the latest updates from Microsoft 365, but don't want to spend hours sifting through the 100 or so announcements like me, stay tuned because in this episode I'm going to be covering all the latest updates, changes, and enhancements that you don't want to miss.
Okay guys, as always we dive in here, just a quick reminder, I do supplement these videos with a blog post down below in the video description with more helpful information and links to all these announcements, so be sure to check that out after you watch this video. Getting into it here though, we're going to start off with Microsoft Teams as we usually do. This first one's related to automatic synchronization with the time zone of the device where you don't actually have to restart Teams for that to take effect. This is really helpful if you are traveling with your device and want the most up-to-date time zone there versus being confused. Timelines on this one to be mid-February and complete by late February. Next one here I like a lot as well too. This is the introduction of the central drafts view where any chat or any team where you've drafted a message but haven't sent it yet, you can quickly move into this new tab, as you can see here in the screenshot, and be able to see all of those drafts in a central location. This will happen mid-March and be complete by late March. I love this one as well too. This is something that I deal with personally, and I think for those of you out there that might deal with this is a pain point today where if you hit enter today in any chat message, it automatically just sends that message versus sometimes you want to create a new line and just separate out paragraphs, things like that. So this is giving you a setting that you can configure where you can actually start a new line instead of sending the message, and then you could then send it either clicking the send button or hitting a couple of keys on your keyboard to then send it as well too. So I think this is going to be a more enhanced experience there as well. And this timeline on this one's mid-February, be complete by late February. This next one here is an introduction of a new tool to migrate content from Slack into Teams. You can see here in the screenshot there's this migration tool and wizard-like experience that you get as part of the 365 Admin Center. And this will give you the capabilities to migrate content into certain Teams channels that might be public or private as it relates to that. And this will happen late January, be complete by early March as far as the final rollout. Next one here is related to meeting notes being available for instant meetings, meaning the Meet Now button. If you have that, within a one-on-one chat or within a group or within a team itself. And those previously did not have the meeting notes, even if you recorded those meetings as part of that or part of the AI experience that's built in if you have that licensing. Timelines on this one is early April and be complete by late April. Next couple announcements here are security related. First one here is related to enabling users to report suspicious Teams messages in Plan 1. Previously, this was only available in Defender for Office 365 Plan 2, which I think is a nice enhancement to move this back into Plan 1, which is included if you have a business premium license as an example. And this allows users to report those messages there, which show up in the Defender portal, as well as the Teams Admin Center. Timelines on this one's mid-February, be complete by mid-February, so around the same time frame there. Next one is if you use Teams calling and the voice capabilities there for inbound calls and being able to do analysis by default and have proactive safeguards against fraudulent or deceptive external callers. A lot of social engineering going on still with this, so if you're using Teams voice, this will be a native feature that's turned on by default. Timelines on this one's mid-March, be complete by late March. Subsequently to that, users can now also report a suspicious call and have that report back up again into Defender or the Teams Admin Center here. And this allows you to apply more protections over time. This will happen mid-April and be complete by late April. Last security one here is this external domains anomalies report. This is for external users chatting with your internal accounts and basically trying to find any analysis or intelligence behind potentially malicious or suspicious activity. And you'll get that report here that you can see in this screenshot and a number of interactions there to help protect the organization. You can also configure this for alerting as well too, and more of that information is in my blog post. Timelines on this one's early March, be complete by mid-March. The very last one here for Microsoft Teams this month is the upgrade and ability to view code blocks on the mobile experience for Teams. You can see that here in the screenshot. This will happen mid-February, be complete by late February. Hey guys, if you're looking to save hours performing Microsoft 365 security assessments and have client-facing reporting at your fingertips in under 60 seconds, check out a tool that I built called CloudCapsule, which allows you to automate Microsoft 365 assessments, and we mapped to over 150 data points and baseline standards such as CIS and NIST. Within seconds, you'll have policy information and mappings across the entire Microsoft 365 suite in a single platform here that you can navigate. And within our baselines, we've recently mapped to the Foundations benchmark from CIS. You can now see all of these controls with automated pass-fail evidence and evidence collection with full remediation steps for each control. So if this looks interesting and you want to run a free scan on your environment or a client environment, head over to cloudcapsule.io and run a free assessment today. Shifting into Microsoft Outlook here, this one's related to just being able to save a meeting event as a draft. So if you were to hit the X box, if you were already drafting a calendar invite, it will now give you this dialog you can see here in the screenshot that says, do you want to discard it or do you want to save it as an event? And then it will pop up on your calendar as a draft as well too, and not a full scheduled meeting in that sense. This will happen late January and be complete by late February. Shifting into the Microsoft 365 apps, only one announcement here related to SharePoint, and this is specifically for site lifecycle management policies, which I've talked about in previous videos, but just a quick TLDR, this is something that is included with Microsoft Copilot, but is also an add-on license you can add into your environment called SharePoint Advanced Management to get this feature. Previously, they only had a predefined template that you could send out to say, hey, you need to review the SharePoint site for the most up-to-date information. Is it still in use? And those types of things. And now you can actually customize the entire email. So as you can see here in the screenshot, the subject, the message, the policy guidelines, everything like that. And that's GA today, so you'll be able to see that if you go into the SharePoint Admin Center. For Microsoft Edge here, this is a refreshed policy flyout experience. You can see that here in this screenshot where they're clearly dictating, a managed account that you have within the organization versus potentially other profiles that are just personal accounts, and some additional cleanup items there as well. This will happen mid-February and be complete by late February. Shifting into Entra here, this one's related to auto-enabling passkey profiles. And I think this is really important. I'll probably do a whole video just talking about this and the upcoming changes, but Microsoft introduced the synced passkeys that are generally available now. And previous to that, we had device-bound passkey profiles that we could set up, within there as well too. But basically, this is allowing you to, as an administrator, opt into the passkey profile experience that supports this group-based passkey configuration, right? And so the importance of that is maybe you have different use cases of enforcing certain passkeys depending on users or groups. Good example is you might want to use sync passkeys for regular users, and you might want to have the device-bound passkeys for administrators, things like that. But additionally, one of the big things here is that this also, by default, if you're Microsoft managed in the sense of this profile, they will begin to migrate users into this experience if passkeys are turned on within the organization, even if they're on Microsoft Authenticator today. So there's definitely a lot to unpack with this. This will happen and start happening around the March timeframe of this year. So definitely more to unpack there. I put more information in my blog on this one as well too, if you are already using passkeys in your environment or your customer environments. Shifting into Copilot here, this first one is giving users the ability within chat in this contextual interface that you see here in the screenshot to create and view Outlook rules, which I think is good and bad in that sense. It's not something you want to easily let people do to set up forwards or anything like that. Obviously, your protections will be in place that you put in from Exchange Online and Defender for 365, but still an interesting experience. This will happen late January and be complete by early March. Next one here I like actually because this is helpful to not context switch between looking at an email going back to Copilot chat. They're going to allow you to open Outlook emails directly within Copilot chat. This will happen mid-February and be complete by late February. Next one here is also Outlook related. I've bundled all these together for you guys, but this is basically giving you the ability to interact with Copilot to set up some rules, if you will, for proactively RSVPing to meetings and removing canceled meetings in Outlook. So you could say something like, if any meeting comes in from, and put in a name of a user, right? Maybe it's your CEO, maybe it's your manager. I want you to auto accept those meetings as an example of that. And any meeting that gets canceled, I want you to remove it from my calendar as an example. So see how this works and looks, but this will happen late January and be complete by early March. This next one was really interesting to me because it's something that I think is using both SharePoint and Forms here, but it's effectively saying that you have structured document generation, meaning you can use a form to get a bunch of information from a user, like in this example, their name, the event details, start date, end date, but then use the integration here with SharePoint in a document folder that you have as a template to basically inject those values that they put into the form into the document intelligently as part of that too. So basically giving you these standardized documents versus having a person go in and pre-fill a document one by one. So it's a cool integration. This will happen early February and be complete by late February. Next announcement here is pretty cool on the surface. I definitely want to dive in myself and play around with this. This is a data security posture agent, basically taking Purview to the next level, if you will. That's the promise, or a hope at least, where today we have a lot of pattern matching capabilities for sensitive information like regex patterns and things like that. And this is going to leverage large language models to index your documents and understand where there potentially might be sensitive information to give you actionable insights. So again, both very much hype around this, but also interested to see how good it is in the sense of a regular document structure, especially for SMB where that's usually pretty messy. Timelines on this one's mid-March and be complete by late March. Next one here is for the research agent. If you guys have used that, it's pretty good in the sense of doing a lot of analysis and giving you good output, but they're expanding the output formats, as you can see here in this screenshot, to include things like Word, PowerPoint, PDF, infographic, but also here an audio overview of that. Timelines on this one's early February and be complete by late December. Last one here for Copilot is AI workflows. In the Workflows app, I've done a previous video on this that many people viewed about turning Outlook into your executive assistant with Copilot. But effectively here, these are going to be pre-canned workflows, as you can see here in the screenshots, basically to have a way to automate routine or complex tasks that you might want to do on a scheduled basis. And that's really nice because then you don't have to reprompt every day or do anything like that. It will auto run as part of the workflow experience as well too. You could dictate the time frame. This timeline here is late January, be complete by mid-February. And then the very last section here is the admin section. Only one announcement today. This is the announcement to retire the standalone SharePoint Online and OneDrive for Business plans, Plan 1 and Plan 2. Not a lot of people adopt these as they reference in their documentation as well too. If you do today within one of your tenants, you do have some considerations on timelines. You effectively have a couple years, honestly, to deal with this. So there's quite a long time, but I include all of the unique end-of-life dates that are part of this announcement in my blog. So be sure to check that out if you want to see more information there.
Okay guys, that's everything I had for you today. Definitely comment below with any of the features you're most excited about. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week.